Hello everyone, and welcome back to a new episode of Dustforce. In the last episode, we finished up doing the unkeyed and bronze ones in Mansion. I think we got them all. And so, the thing that I like about this game is that I mentioned that some of the levels are like tough to get to, right? How do we get to this one, the harder levels? And it turns out like you can do some fancy wall running on that wall on the left with a corner jump up the slanty bit. But as a new player, like I wasn't looking up spoilers for how to do this, and like it's not totally clear. I think it turned out that if you switch to Dustforce, it's like pretty easy to just like double jump up there basically. But as Dustman, it's not so obvious. I actually don't remember now how to do it. Something like this probably. Yeah, there we go. But the fact that these levels are sort of hidden away, on the one hand, is like a little bit frustrating and annoying because like I just wanted to play the level. But making you... Oh my gosh. A combat level. Wow. Alright, anyway. Making you demonstrate mastery... Oh my god, I hate it. Of these techniques. It's sort of like... some of the... Like, we had to use that corner jumping technique to get up here, and I guarantee you, at least one of the levels in this area... Oh, nice shot. Is going to require the use of that technique in order to get through it. So they're sort of gating you from getting to levels that are too hard, but still showing you like, hey, there's a thing you should be able to do to get up here. And here's a reason you'll want to learn to do it, because there's a level you can... Oh my god. Alright, let's see if I'm any better at this with Dust Girl. Dust Kid, I should say. Okay, well this is going alright now. Nope, never mind. And so I don't know, I think that's a great example of like making the player want to progress and showing them how and like why it will be useful. I should actually get these books out of the way. They're the worst. Oh no, I got hit with, I don't know, that hook thing, I guess. Whatever it was. These friggin' books. Alright, this episode is gonna be filled with like frustrated groaning, I guess. Because this is only a silver combat level, like... The gold one, I guess it is, in fairness, it's not only a silver combat level, like it's actually a silver combat level. The other one we did previously wasn't even a bronze combat level, it was just like an unlocked combat level, so... blocked. Get blocked, son. Okay, we cleaned that up. There's the book. Got that book. Can't fool me, friggin' book. Oh, we didn't clean this up. I thought we had. We get it now? Finally got it, okay. No, don't, no, I ran out of comp. Alright. What was I saying? I have no idea. So, anyway, we did a combat level before, and it was much easier than this, and that's sort of to be expected, because this one is sort of 2 difficulty levels higher than the last one we did. And I'm especially bad at combat levels, and so while I can do silver sort of platforming levels without like a ton of trouble, most of them, god damn it. Speaking of which, I know most of the stuff on my channel is like pretty light on the swearing. I can't make any guarantees while playing a platformer, I'm afraid. Nope, missed me. This stuff is like... Alright, so why am I not hitting this guy? Alright, there we go. Got him. Alright, there we go. Got him. I believe we got a perfect there. Yes, thank goodness. Anyway, I'm better at... Oh, and it was my new best time. Lovely. I'm better at platforming levels for sure. And... yeah, so we could get up here. We could do Moon Temple. Oh my god, no thank you. Like, the temple levels are especially hard. Anyway, combat is difficult, and I might swear, sorry, like, I don't know. I think that these... I enjoy the frustration that that a good platformer gives you, like, because it... I missed a spot. It always feels like your fault. And they have a pretty quick restart loop that's like, you made a mistake, get back in there. Really? Okay. I don't know. But as a side effect, like, missed that. I feel frustrated enough that it's a good frustration, but like, I don't know. My reactions tend to be a little bit less filtered than when I'm playing Crawl, where I can pause to think about what I'm saying. So I don't know. Like I said, if it bothers you, like, sorry about it, I guess. But oh, this is a fun level. A good chance to exercise, like, I think they call it feathering to carry over your speed from a slide by feathering on the input for dashing. There we go. I had a pretty good time on this, I feel like, in the past. Like, this clearly was not my best. Yeah. Let's actually just watch... Here's a fun comparison. We'll watch my best time. You can compare to what I just did. And then we'll watch actually the best time on the score, which is just like miles ahead. So here we go. Get over all that stuff really quick. That should have been a heavy, for example. That's why we could have picked up some time. I did that part pretty badly. I don't know. Like, there's clearly a lot of room to improve on this. But overall, it seemed like okay, right? A few things where I could have picked up a quarter of a second or something, but nothing that I feel like I could get leaps and bounds better. Whereas, like, all these people are doing it, you know, 50% faster than I am, or something like that. So let's watch this top guy, Oh Dear. And it just, like, blows me out of the water with just not only doing some things I'm not doing, but also doing everything way better. Oh my gosh, that looks so good. There you go. So, like, that's what a good player looks like. And there are a lot of people who are able to do that well, apparently. Like, if you look at this, you can tell exactly how far a frame is, right? Actually, no, I guess you can. But these people are all within, like, a quarter second of each other. There's, like, a good route that people are able to find. And, like, I'm not really good enough to find, to execute that. But as long as I feel like I executed a level well, like, within the parameters of what I feel like I'm able to do, yeah, that's fine. This game makes it satisfying to improve. You don't have to be doing as well as the top players, or at least I don't feel like that's necessary. If you're a more competitive person, or if you're better at this sort of game than I am, you might feel that not being in the top, you know, N% is... See, this is an unsatisfying performance, and while I could easily get a perfect, I'd rather just not mess that up. So, you know, you can set your own goals. There are definitely levels where just, like, getting an SS at all is like a huge accomplishment for me, right? That took me hours of practice on A level to beat that level once. And of course, now that I've done that once, I'll be better at those levels when I try to do them in this playthrough, and it won't take me nearly as long. But I'm sure it'll still take some time. Oh, no, I'm wrong. I thought this was a combat level. Okay. Ah! I don't really like this level too much. There's not enough contrast for me between the background and the foreground, and so it's sort of easy for me to miss what's going on. You know, not a huge complaint, but unfortunately there aren't many levels with this style of background. It's not a big deal. But I just don't particularly like it. So something interesting to note, and we saw this in the last episode, when we watched that guy go through the level really fast, is using your super attack takes an amount of time proportional to the number of enemies you're defeating with it. What this means is that, like, if there's a ton of enemies on screen, it may... Oh, well, and before I jump to the consequence, I should say the other thing that's an important part of this, which is that your super takes longer depending on how many enemies there are, but your regular attacks don't. Normally, that's like, well, sure, but they can only clean up one guy, whereas the super cleans up a lot of guys, right? But if enemies are so tightly packed that your regular attack, I'm doing this pretty badly, can clean up several enemies in a single regular attack, it may be more time efficient to clean up some or all of them with your regular attack and then use your super to finish them off. I generally don't bother with such micro optimizations, but it's kind of cool to see people in speedruns like jump into a cloud of enemies and clear one of them, or attack once or twice into the group with a heavy attack, and then clear the rest with a super, where like the obvious thing to do is just super it all. And like this level, I happen to know, is an example. Oh my god, what am I doing? Where such a thing happens. There's a bunch of enemies really clumped together. It's the spot at the end of this level, and I forget if it's more efficient, if it's fastest to kill all of them without using your super at all, or if you should, like, I keep landing on that wall too high. Should be more careful. There we go. That is good. And nope, too low. Anyway, I don't know whether it's more efficient to clear them all with regular attacks and then use a super, or use a super to clear the remainder after you clear a subset of them. I don't know. So this is actually, that spot I like innovated previously. It's not like an innovation I was the first to discover, but I figured it out myself, that you can clear that area. That wall on the left that I slid down after killing those 4 enemies, you can actually avoid that wall completely if you're paying more attention than I am, / was. And you can also, yes, no, I thought you could get, well, that was a terrible waste of a super. But the idea is you can use your super in that area to kill those enemies and pick up all the dust on that left green wall. And then you don't have to go over there. You can save a fair bit of time. So, like, I have a vague memory that I figured that out on my own, although, but it's possible that I, like, picked it up from watching someone speedrun. I don't know. Probably I did actually pick it up from watching someone. More or less in Dustforce, I just sort of go for the obvious route of just, like, sliding along all the dust. So you can do like that, No, so you have to be a bit lower to make it work. But that's the idea. Anyway, I most... Excuse me. I mostly just do the obvious thing because, like, I'm not a great player and I don't get great times. And it's kind of... Yeah, here we go. Look at all these guys. You can go... something like that. Clear out a bunch of them and then super the rest. I don't know. I think you can do that with, like... You can do it better. But anyway. It just takes forever to super all of it, believe it or not. So there's a little animation for each enemy you hit. Wow, I have a pretty good best time on this, actually. Let's watch that. Okay, so we pick up all this stuff. Okay, that's clearly not optimal. Shouldn't have to stop while I'm sliding down that stuff. Don't know why I was attacking that wall. Ah, there we go. See, picking up the dust gets you a super without having to kill any of the enemies there. And then you can just sort of walk off the edge, get close enough to the left wall to super it, and pick up all the enemies at the same time, so you don't have to use an attack at all. There we go. So I got off one attack and then cleaned everything else up with the super. I think you could do better with 2 or maybe even 3 attacks. But okay, cool. So that's a fun level. So we've done almost all of the Bronze City, right? Up here is, I think, probably silver levels. Let me just double check. Yeah, this is all silver stuff. Okay. Probably don't want to do another silver this episode. I'll just finish up this bronze. And then get going. No? I keep thinking it's a combat level, and it never is. Okay, this one is fine. So what are we doing here? We go up and around, come down, hit this on the way, jump up this stuff, over here. Okay, up and around this. I'm obviously like just not trying to pick up all the dust here or get it perfect or anything, just routing to make sure I remember what to do. I think you can get those guys reasonably well without using up a super. And I think that's important. So we're supposed to go over the top of this stuff, as I recall, and then come back down along the bottom, cleaning this stuff. I'm not sure. Ah, I see, right. I clean up this stuff. So I go over the top of this, going from right to left, and then under the bottom, left to right, and then I come back along, cleaning up this dust floor area, and come down this way. And then there's all these guys who you use your super on. Okay. No, restart, please. So anyway, I said in, I think, the last episode that I'm not planning to explain in great detail everything I do on every route. And I have, in fact, not been explaining my routing on most of these levels, as you, I'm sure, have noticed. On this one, I just, like, couldn't remember the level well enough. I wanted to go through and sort of scout it, even though, like, I've done it a million times. So it's sort of like memory scouting. I don't know. I think maybe you can use your super there. Ugh. I think there's enough dust after that that you can super those guys. Okay, there we go. Doing those little tiny hops while wall jumping is a bit tricky. It's easy to accidentally jump too high, for me anyway, and miss the wall you're supposed to kick off of. I'm gonna try supering these guys. I think it works. Ah! That's such an easy mistake to make. I've made it a million times. In principle, you should do that without landing at all. And then fight the enemy as a way to get your jump back. Oh, this is the worst. No, I missed that as well? Alright, at least I cleaned it up with my super, and then I just have to finish off these guys with ordinary combat instead of with my super. Alright, well, I'm not totally sure how long this level is. I forgot to start a timer, but I think it's probably a reasonable time to stop. You know, if it's only been 5 minutes, I'll be quite surprised. But in that case, sorry. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.